This is my very first live stream, and I'm just over here making sure we're streaming to YouTube and to Facebook. We are going to talk about all things Owensboro, living in Owensboro, the kind of developments that are coming. We're going to talk about Zillow and do they even know what they're doing? We're going to talk about the flood map. We are going to talk about all kinds of stuff. And I bet you there are things coming to Owensboro that you don't quite know about. And if you've heard, you probably don't know the specifics, and we're going to get into it. I'm going to call this a show, but this isn't Sam's show. This is our show. So if you have any comments, any questions, I'm going to do my best to field them. If you are watching the replay, I am so glad that you're watching it. Please keep watching it till the end. Post your comments because I will go back and look at those too for future episodes because I want to be sure that I'm giving you the value that you are looking for. In case you aren't aware, if you own property in Daviess County, the property assessments continue to go up. They've gone up over 5% this past year, but they've gone up over 5% the last 4 years in a row. I'm not surprised by this at all. Property assessments up 5.19% this year. The number of $1 million plus homes, now we're talking assessed value, the number of 1 million plus valued homes have skyrocketed in the last 2 years. In fact, there were only 6 in 2021. And in 2023, there are 19 homes in Daviess County that are assessed at over $1 million. But if you are 65 or older, this article reminds you that Kentucky allows anyone 65 and older or anyone disabled to apply for the homestead exemption to their property, and they get a decreased assessed value. So what that means is if your home is valued at $200,000, but you're 65 and older, your house that assesses at $200,000, they're only going to tax you on a certain amount. Now, let me tell you what that credit is. So in the state of Kentucky, they are crediting you on your assessed value. They're crediting you $46,350. So you're paying property taxes on your assessed value minus this amount. So you're paying quite a bit less. So if you are disabled or if you're 65 and older, you get this homestead exemption. However, it's not automatic. So once you turn 65, you need to get in touch with the PVA office and be sure you're getting that exemption. Every single property is reassessed in Daviess County every 4 years. So every 4 years, you are probably going to see an increase. It could stay the same, but the chances of it increasing is pretty high. Have they ever gone down? Yeah, they actually have gone down some. What can you do if your property taxes go up so high that you think it's too high and your property isn't really worth that much? Now, keep in mind, nobody from the PVA office physically walks into your property. So how do they know exactly what your property is worth? If you haven't done any upgrades and the condition has gone downhill some, the PVA office is not going to know. So what you need to do is just get in touch with the PVA office, tell them that you want to challenge that. Now be nice, but tell them you want to challenge that you do not believe that your home is worth that much, and they will let you know exactly what you need to do. If you follow me on social media, I have been talking a lot. I've actually been screaming a lot about the flood maps. And the reason is because the flood maps in Daviess County are changing. And I don't know that the county is letting residents know. If they're not, then maybe the insurance companies are. But I have a really good feeling that maybe nobody is. So I'm screaming it from the rooftops because some of you guys pay for flood insurance and you're not going to have to once these maps are released. Now, these maps are just preliminary at this point. So I'm going to show you these maps. These changes are expected to go into effect in the first half of 2024. So don't get too excited right now if your home is currently in a flood zone but won't require flood insurance later. You still have to pay it right now if you have a mortgage. If you do have a mortgage and your home currently requires flood insurance but it won't next year, once these maps go into effect, I believe you're going to have to be the one to call your insurance company to get it canceled. I do not think they're going to reach out to you to let you know. Could be wrong, but that's my hunch. Everybody I've talked to so far, they've not heard from their insurance companies about this upcoming change, and maybe because it's preliminary, maybe because it's not set in stone yet. I care about your dollars, so I want you to be aware of this. What you are seeing is the current flood map in Daviess County. Now, I do have it zoomed in a little bit because if I zoom out anymore, it's going to take the flood map area away from what you can see. And I want you to see it. So right now you're looking at the current flood map. The preliminary is this next map I'm going to show you. So it's going to take just a second here to pull it up. Let me type in an address here. It worked before we went live. Of course it did. Here is an address in Owensboro on the current flood map. Now let's see. It's going to give me a hard time, isn't it? I think because this map is interactive, it's probably going to have a hard time catching up on the live stream. This is what we're going to do. If you are interested in knowing whether or not your home will require flood insurance, I want you to reach out to us. The way you're going to reach out to us is you're going to email admin@vegagrouprealestate.com. You email us, you let us know your address, and we will get back to you within 24 hours and let you know what's going on with your specific address. I was hoping to be able to show that to you. But apparently it doesn't want to work right now, and that's okay. I want to talk about Zillow. I know that so many of you rely on Zillow. I know that you look at that Zestimate, and I totally understand. I go to Zillow quite a bit too. As a real estate agent, I know that a lot of things on Zillow are not correct, but as a member of the public looking at Zillow for homes for sale and possibly even looking up your own address to see what the Zestimate is, you don't understand how many errors or how inaccurate Zillow is. And I get that. So I want to share some things with you. Zillow keeps trying to do other things that they're not experts in. And you know what happens when you do that? You start spreading yourself thin. I think we all do that, but companies, big companies do the same thing. Zillow shutters closing and title division. Everybody knows Zillow as I want to know what homes are on the market. So I'm going to go to Zillow and check it out. And that Zillow is a very good source for that. I 100% support all of my buyers going to Zillow if that's their website of choice to look for homes for sale. However, nobody from Zillow, just like what I was talking about with the PVA office, nobody from the PVA office has been in your home, yet they're assessing the value, and a lot of times they're wrong and you can challenge it. It's the same thing with Zillow. They've not been in your home. So if you've done drastic updates, or on the reverse, if you've not done any updates, it's completely outdated, but the other homes around you that are selling are completely updated and have sold for a certain dollar amount, that's going to show that your home is worth quite a bit more than what it is if your home smells really bad, if it's not been updated, things like that. So the Zestimate, it could be used as a tool, but please don't rely on it, because this just shows you that Zillow doesn't have it all figured out. So Zillow shutters closing and title division. Just like we have Foreman Watson Land Title in Owensboro that I highly recommend often, that's what they were trying to do. They're not local. They don't have attorneys local to do this title search and to protect you as a buyer. So anyway, I'm not surprised at all that Zillow had to close it down. They obviously figured out it was not working. They started this the very same time they started Zillow offers in 2019. And in 2021, Zillow shut down its Zillow offers program. Part of their Zillow offers was Zillow was going out and buying a lot of homes in a lot of different markets. And guess what they were gauging whether or not they would make a buying decision? Zestimate. So they were relying on their Zestimate to help them make the decision, a business decision, about whether or not it was wise to buy a certain property, how much they could sell it for once they flipped it. And they shuttered that quick too. That part of the Zillow leg actually met its demise in 2021, at the end of 2021. So now they're shuttering another division of Zillow. I personally think Zillow needs to stick around, but I think they need to stick to what they're good at. Welcome to technology, especially the first time you use it. All right, I think we're back on and we're going to keep rolling with this. This is an article from 2019 where Owensboro leaders were breaking ground on what they were calling Brio. Now, I have seen it called Riverfront Brio. There's several different articles about this complex. And in 2019, they were saying 200 apartment units. Again, that's conflicting information from what I'm seeing now. But this was 2019, and they were expecting that it would take approximately 3 years, which would be end of 2022. And here we are mid-2023, and it's not done yet. But they were having some issues, just like everybody else. When COVID hit, having some issues there with the supply chain. This is actually a really neat thing coming downtown. It's across from the convention center on 2nd Street, and it's actually going to be on one block. From what I understand, we're going to have a new hotel, apartment complex, and we're also going to have a parking garage. Home to Suites by Hilton Hotel and Riverfront Brio Apartments is what both of them are called. Envision Contractors are actually taking lead on this in conjunction with Gulfstream. It looks pretty fantastic to me. So Home to Suites by Hilton, that's an extended stay hotel. Gulfstream is currently working on with the city to add a 6th floor, making it 144 to 146 room hotel rather than the originally planned 121 rooms. So right now, the hotel for sure is going to have 121 rooms, but they're hoping for 144 to 146 if the city allows an additional floor. They're going to have feature rooms with kitchens. They're going to have an outdoor pool, fitness center, laundry service, grab and go market, all of those things that you expect any nice hotel to offer, we're going to have at this downtown hotel. The plans are for this to be open by September 2024. The Riverfront Brio Apartments. So this is residential living. So this isn't part of the hotel. This is a separate, these are apartments for people to rent out. Right now, I feel like we have a shortage of quality dwellings for people to rent out. So what happens then, even the homes, even the apartments, even whatever that they're renting out isn't in great quality, they're still getting pretty high rent prices right now because there's not a whole lot for people to choose from. So I'm pretty excited about this apartment complex coming because it should, I hope, drive the rent rates down. Now, it's probably not going to change it much, but it might make things a little more affordable for a lot of people. So plans for the apartments originally called for 6 floors and 98 apartments, but now they're looking at 8 floors rather than 6 and 117 apartments. Plans are for the apartments to be ready in March 2025. I've not yet found how much they're expecting to charge. And I know that's something that a lot of you will be asking about. So I do not know yet. I haven't been able to find how much they plan on charging. So lots of stuff going on downtown, which is exciting. I absolutely love our downtown. I would love to know from you guys, do you love the developments that are happening down there? Do you appreciate what the city is doing downtown? Or do you think that it's a waste of money? I would really love to know. But there's a lot more going on down there too. And I want to share that with you. There is more. So we were talking about apartments. We're going to have a whole lot more apartments. We're going to have that hotel complex, which the convention center is excited about because they should be able to attract larger shows because now we'll have more hotel rooms for concert goers to rent out and be able to stay. So we're hoping to attract more people from more places, further away places, and we will see how that goes. I think it's a great idea. We are going to have more downtown living options. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about these brownstones. So we do have some brownstones over there near the health park, and it looks very much like this. This is exactly what's going up on 5th Street. So these are absolutely beautiful. It's very clear to me that the city is wanting to work on their downtown. We're wanting to revitalize down there. So we're going about it in all kinds of ways. So we're going to have apartments for people who are renting. We're going to have hotel rooms for more people who are visiting. And now we're going to have luxury home living down there. It's going to be in the 500 block of West 5th Street. The developers are Robert Whitaker and Steve Hayden, as you can see there. So each home, let's talk about those. 2,500 square feet, 3 to 4 bedrooms, and 2 to 3 bathrooms. So right now, none of them are planned specifically. So if you are interested in any of these and living in that area, knowing that they're working on building up the downtown area, you can absolutely go ahead and get in touch. This article mentions Matthew Shell. He has this listed. They're not built yet. However, if you want to go ahead in there, commit to one, then you can decide where you want the bedrooms, bathrooms, how many, what kind of features you want. Now, from what I understand, the starting price is around $590,000. That might sound like a lot for that area, but these are going to be super nice. I would love to know from you, do you think these will be purchased pretty quickly, or do you think they'll be sitting a while? I would love to know what you think. Something else neat about these brownstones, there's going to be a dedicated space in each of them for an elevator at some point. So if a current buyer, before they're completed, if the buyer wants there to be an elevator for sure, they will go ahead and put it in there for them before it's completed. But once everything is completed, each of those homes will have the ability and the space to add an elevator at some future time should they need it. I would love to know in the comments, what do you guys think about those brownstones being built on 5th Street? Love it? Hate it? What are your thoughts? Gulfstream announced plans for Lux. Have you heard about Lux? It's a multi-million-dollar apartment retail project. It's going to be at the corner of 4th and Frederica. So I believe that's the old Jerry Daviess lot. So right there, they're getting that ready for that complex. It's going to be 4 to 5 story building with 100 to 150 apartments. So they're not selling homes there. It's going to be another apartment complex. Again, we're going to have more options, higher level amenities, just a nicer building, nicer choices for people who choose or have to rent, which I think is absolutely wonderful. There's going to be a 10,000 square foot retail space, and it's also going to feature a restaurant, a pool, and a parking garage. So we have a lot going on downtown. A huge shout out. Owensboro's own Colt Graves signed a massive record deal with Timbaland. If you haven't heard about that, you should be really, really proud of him and be cheering him on. He has worked so hard for this, and I've really enjoyed researching about Colt. So proud of you, man. I think that's absolutely awesome. And for us to be able to say that our very own Colt Graves is making it big, I think is wonderful. So in this article, Chad outlines everything Colt has known the past 8 years has been turned upside down in the best way possible. If you haven't yet, you'll want to check out 2 of his songs, Lonesome Roads, which is on this WBKR article. So you'll want to check that out. Lonesome Roads and Dirt on Me. So one thing that I think is really neat about this is not only is Colt a talented musician, but what really got him noticed, obviously his music did, but the way his music videos were done is what really impressed people in Nashville. And I think that is so super. So I am so glad that he put himself out there like that, and he worked so hard on that, and he did not give up. For now, he plans to continue living in Owensboro, but he has his sights set on Nashville. Another incredibly talented person putting Owensboro on the map. Go get him, Colt. So if you know Colt, or even if you don't, you should send him a message and congratulate him. What a wonderful thing. The replica of Penta, am I saying that right? Penta? Is docking in Owensboro, and there will be tours available. And I think that is so cool. Now, it's not free, but it's not going to be real expensive. I absolutely think that families should go down and check it out. So just a little bit about it. So it'll be docked at English Park July 7th through the 16th. It's actually just a floating dockside museum. It was built by Portuguese shipwrights using the same methods and hand tools used to build the originals in the 15th century, which I think is so awesome. All of the technology available to us nowadays, all the power tools, and they chose to use hand tools. Among the 3 ships used by Christopher Columbus, here we go, in his first transatlantic voyage in 1492. Tickets are purchased at the ship. So I don't believe you can purchase tickets online. You have to purchase tickets at the ship, and they will be somewhere between $6 and $8, depending on if you're an adult, how old the child is, and children 4 and under are free, which is super awesome. Makes it very affordable. There are no reservations necessary. I'm not even sure if they would take reservations. I think you just show up, purchase your ticket, and there you go. One really cool fact about this that I was unaware of until I read this article and did some digging is that a native of Owensboro, Ryan Embry, I don't know if you know him or not, but Ryan Embry is actually a crew member on this replica, which I think is absolutely neat. So if you have no plans and you want to do something unique, I think that you should check that out. Owensboro's Art Guild is putting on this free festival behind Feta Specialty Pizza. Local artists will be showcasing and selling their art from 10 to 5. There will be paintings and sculptures and jewelry. There's going to be photography. There's going to be all kinds of talent down there being showcased. They're really going to showcase what they've done, but I believe you're also going to be able to buy some product, buy some art, which I think is going to be awesome. One thing that I also think is really cool is that there will be a tent down there where children can create artwork themselves. So if you have a child who loves to work with his or her hands and they love to create things, how neat of a day that would be for them to go down there, have fun, meet these other artists, and learn how to do different things with their hands. I just think that's really neat. There will be live music during that event by Beyond Blue. And this one, unlike the replica of the Penta, this one is a free event, unless, of course, you want to purchase from the artists, which I highly recommend you taking money with you so that you can support our local artists who are working so hard. Volunteers from Girls Inc. will be manning that tent and helping the children make different things with their hands. Lo and behold, that is exactly who Courtney Calhoun Kendall, because she's recently married. She is actually our community member spotlight. And so I am going to bring her on screen. She has been waiting through, she's been waiting through the live stream hiccups and everything. She's such a trooper. Courtney, how are you?
I am great. I am great. So thanks
You
for
are at
having
Girls Inc. right now.
I am. I'm still here. So yes.
You are so wonderful. So who is Courtney? If I ran into you on the street and it was really important for me to know who Courtney is, in 20 seconds, what would you tell me?
Definitely, I think I embody what my mission is at Girls Inc. Strong, smart, and bold. Maybe sometimes a little too strong for people, sometimes a little too bold, but I am nice. I am so nice, caring, and just I care about people. So I love what I do, and I'm happy to do it. So.
And is it true that you were a member, you were a child at Girls Inc. at some point?
It is true. I was a member from age 6 to about 13 years of age. And then I came back way, 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 way later to work here. All my jobs have been working with children. So that's been a passion of mine. And I heard that they were hiring. So I came back and I've been here ever since. So
They can't get rid of you.
I know it. I know it. I like to say that every kid has a story. So I have to find out the end. So we get new girls every day. So I have to find out.
Listen, I have been in there volunteering, not as much as I should, but when I go in there, it is such a special place. And there is no doubt that part of the reason that it's so special is because you're there. You've been a girl there in need of that service. And so you know how important it is. And I think that's just so awesome.
Well, I appreciate it. And that's actually, it's so funny. That's how we met. He was looking for a place to volunteer. And I'm like, heck yeah, come on. We're roller derby team. So
That's right.
yes, yes.
So funny. So the old me, many, many, many years ago, a different lifetime ago, I played roller derby, which is really funny. I didn't plan on talking about that. But because I did, those girls were so interested in it. And so I showed up in my skates and they loved it.
A
So
fun day. A fun
it
day.
was fun. And those girls just wanted somebody to sit down and talk to and make them feel important. I mean, and they're so smart. So smart. So how many girls do you guys serve?
We're in our summer programming now. So we have two locations, the Rolling Heights campus and the OCC campus. So probably, I don't know, we've probably been averaging 70, 80 a day between the sites. So that's not all that's enrolled, but I mean, not all at once. Last year, unduplicated, maybe over 500 girls. So, but yeah, but the summer's in full spring, full swing. We've been open since June the 5th. So we finished June. So we're looking forward to July. All kinds of fun things happening. So
Yes. Well, and that's what I was going to ask you. You have a big fundraiser coming up, don't you?
we do. We do. Red on the River, which is August the 19th. It's what it is. It's a raffle. So you can purchase raffle tickets through us or any of our board members, board trustees who are out in the community. It's $75. So for a night of fun, entertainment, there's hors d'oeuvres, and you get to bid on a lot of cool stuff for a silent auction. But for that $75 too, you get a chance to win $2,500. So all of that is to help support Girls Inc. in its mission. So.
And if you've ever heard a story from one of those girls telling you what Girls Inc. has done for them, you would buy 15 tickets and you only need one, but you would buy 15 just because you want to give to this organization. So I highly recommend that you reach out to Courtney or you reach out to one of the board members or did you say the trustees?
Yes, the board trustees.
Board of trustees. I highly recommend that you reach out to somebody that you know there and buy some tickets and support them. And if you see this, of course, this video is going to live on Facebook and YouTube forever. So should you see this replay later and this event is behind us, you can support Girls Inc. at any time. How can they do that, Courtney?
They can volunteer. We always need people to help with the girls, whether it's reading, helping with homework after school. If you have special skills, to come in and do some of those things with the girls, or just donating your time, your treasure, any aspect of that. So with snacks or with materials that we may need to be able to have the girls participate in our programming. So, and that's anytime. Coming to Girls Inc., going to any of our emails, or we're on social media, so they can contact us that way too. So, or just dropping by or calling at our sites.
What about if they want to give financially? So what if somebody from out of this area happens to catch this on YouTube and they look into Girls Inc. because of this, and then they want to give? How could they give financially? Where do they give it? Is it online? Is there a mailing address?
You can do online. Our website is girlsincowensboro.org, or we have Venmo. We have PayPal. Stopping by, dropping a check in the mail. So definitely a lot of forms for people to be able to give to us. Or just calling us at 270-684-7833. So we'll be happy to tell you more about our program, invite you out for a tour. So we're very open to that.
That's awesome. And those girls would absolutely love it. Absolutely. Even if you just had 20 minutes to stop and hang out with them, they would love it. So let's change gears just a bit before we end the show. I want to know, of course, Courtney and I know each other very well now because she just recently, first of all, got married, but secondly, purchased a home, her very first home.
Yes,
we were house hunting together, and it was so much fun. You guys were so much fun. I laughed hysterically so many times. Congratulations again on purchasing your very first home.
Thank you.
All the new things. But switching gears a little bit, just to talk about Owensboro specifically, what do you love about living in Owensboro?
Well, definitely, I was born and raised here. I'm still here. I always say there's no place like home. Definitely a great community feel to raise a family, to work. Just a lot of people. I think because people know each other and networking. That's what I love. I do like to go visit other places, but I always tell people there's no place like home. So it's just a fun little town, and we're growing. So I was listening to you and all the great stuff that's happening downtown and all over. So we're thriving. So we're getting there. One of my favorite places to be when I go out of town are downtowns, because it's always so much to do within walking distance. So I definitely can't wait to see how Owensboro becomes that place for downtown. So
yeah, I love our downtown. It's small, but it's mighty, and it's just beautiful down there. So I'm pretty excited about the developments that are coming up. So when you and Herbie have a night out, where do you like to go? Let's give people who are thinking about relocating to Owensboro, let's give them some ideas of things that they could look forward to.
So definitely there's good restaurants. The Lure, we do that. Any Mexican restaurants. We do movies, even just downtown on the river. That's one of our favorite places, since it has been different. We like the old river too, but it looks great. A great place just to walk and be out in the community. Where else? Of course, I'm going to say Western Kentucky Botanical Garden. That's where we got married. Beautiful, beautiful place. If you like the outdoors, for that. So definitely one of my favorite places here. In Owensboro. So a lot of places like downtown and just all over. So our food trucks, or even Friday after 5, which I think that's great, for Owensboro to have. We've been picking up a lot of people coming from outside our community to come to Friday after 5. So that'll continue, I want to say, through September. So that's something.
Yeah, it's all summer long, every Friday night, and it is packed down there. Everybody's having such a good time. So I love that event. We were talking about going tomorrow night, but I think we're going to go watch a movie instead. So
that's something to do too. So
well, I really, really appreciate everything that you do for our community, Courtney, and I absolutely cherish our friendship. Thank you so much for hopping on here, knowing that this was the very first one and that it was not going to be perfect.
I know.
And here we are with some internet troubles, but we got back on, and I am so happy about that. So you hang on tight for just a second, Courtney. I'm going to hide you for just a second, talk to everybody, and then I'll get back with you.
Okay.
You guys, thank you. Again, this was the inaugural show, and I knew we would have some issues, and we certainly did, but we got through them. You are still here watching, and I really appreciate that. If you liked this content, I'd really appreciate you commenting, liking, following. That will help push it out to more people. Not every 2 weeks, the first and third Thursdays of every month, we will be doing this. I will be more prepared with better internet next time, hopefully. But anyway, I am so thankful you were here and that you joined this. If you have any real estate questions at all, reach out to us at admin@vegagrouprealestate.com. We would love to help you. And again, thanks for being here. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. See you.